Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your host, Jay-Zon, for this B East Division match. We've got Phoenix Rising Emerald versus the One Tricks. And, fortunately, it looks like Phoenix Rising Emerald doesn't quite fit on the screen, but might just do, PRE instead, for now. See about changing that for the in-game, see if that fits better on that screen. By the way, welcome, everybody. We got pretty much everybody in lobby. Looks like we're waiting on one more. And we'll be getting going for this match, but Sheeds, thank you very much for the follow. Good time to remind everybody, follow for more NGS action throughout the season. We'll be picking up games when I have a chance, and when they are, of course, open. But kind of in some ways, it's been kind of tough to find a game so far this first week, as it usually is. Early in the season, a lot of casters coming back, super excited. Not only to see those casters, but also, you know, most casters enjoy picking up a few matches at least after a long period without having any games to cast. Plus, not as many flex matches in those early weeks, so the schedule is usually a little bit tighter as it opens up later in the season with all those extra flex matches. We see just tons and tons of games flow in, and casters are usually spread pretty thin in those last few weeks. But either way, looking forward to another match here in the first week of NGS Season 9. It's going to be my first look for the season at B East. I just want to make sure these guys are... Yep, still waiting on the one. But we should be getting going pretty soon here. We're going to be going to Battlefield of Eternity for our first map of the evening. How's everybody doing out there? Of course, I say that with a 30-second delay, so I will patiently await on bated breath the responses. We also have a bunch of matches going tonight. Thursday night, typically the busiest night of the week on average for NGS, and tonight definitely no exception. 15 NGS matches being played tonight, including my team. Shout out to Team Training Wheels. We'll be playing at 8:30 p.m. PST, so that's about 3 hours from now. So hopefully we'll be done with this by the time I gotta go. But it looks like everybody is ready to go in our lobby. We're going to get this going for you guys as soon as we can. And there we go. So game number one, we go to Battlefield of Eternity. Of course, this map, very, very commonly played map. Definitely one of the most popular on the NGS rotation. And a very unique meta here on this map with the burn mechanic. We're going to see Raynor banned out to start. Raynor, of course, pretty decent siege. Kind of shocking to see him banned first. But that's where we're going to start. Let's go ahead and just bump this down a peg, shall we? See if that helps it fit better. There we go. Alright. Wanted to get the whole name on there. Gotta admit, it was kind of bugging me. But we've got Raynor and Deathwing, the beginning bands here. Deathwing, you know, overall a good control point hero. Being able to... I can only imagine how difficult it would be charging in to a Deathwing defending under its own immortal. That would just be a little too intimidating for my blood. Zul, of course, the ban out. I could say arguably the strongest hero in the meta, but I don't think it's much of an argument. Most people have kind of gotten to that point where that's what they're thinking. And the Stukov ban, that seems a bit targeted. Very unique set of bans. And not really a whole lot of emphasis on banning burn heroes. You know, sometimes we'll see the Valas banned out. Greymane, that's a big one. And we'll see that one picked up right away. For the side of the one tricks. Next pick coming up here for Phoenix Rising Emerald. They have so many options. Let's see where they start out here. Rhaegar, a pretty decent burn for a healer. He used to actually be the highest single target burner in the game with his double lightning shield talent. Now that talent has moved to level 16, so it can give some burn at the end of the game, but early game it's just, you know, decent and good for the healing role. But Vala also picked up here, which is going to be a pretty nice boost to that burn. And then on the other side we got Johanna, so providing some of those blinds to counter the Vala. And Li Ming going to be picked up also for the side of the one tricks. Now, Li Ming, of course, has a missile build that's particularly good at burning, but requires some pretty solid aim if you're going to be doing good stuff with it in the team fight. Of course, Li Ming and Greymane, kind of an old combo that go for the throat, trying to finish somebody off to get that reset for Ming. We've seen that in a couple different... We've seen that variety of building around Li Ming with a couple different heroes over the years. Greymane is on top of the meta. Not surprised to see that. Meanwhile, we're going to see Ana banned out, so they don't... over on the side of Phoenix Rising Emerald, they don't want to see that Li Ming and Ana combo. Meanwhile, we'll see Sylve and Thrall coming out. Again, you know, good burn potential overall. The team overall is not super tanky. Rhaegar and Thrall give a little bit of meat to this, of course. They still need their tank for Phoenix Rising Emerald. It's not too squishy, though, I don't think. You see Anduin coming out as the healer. And there's the Artanis. So, yeah, pretty much full burn mode here for the one tricks. They are all about the burn. Be interested to see how these go in team fights. So it's not necessarily a bad team fighting comp, but Artanis sometimes can struggle a little bit in the team fighting game, especially against good poke damage. Which is kind of the definition of Sylve, Vala, and Thrall, and the Tyrael coming out as the tank for the side of Phoenix Rising Emerald. Should be very interesting to see how that works out. There's not a massive amount of peel in that front line, but then again, you know, you look at the one tricks and you don't exactly see divers. Johanna tends to be more of a control tank up front. Artanis, you know, can try to hit a swap on somebody, but Puts him kind of right in the middle of a ton of damage. Both sides have pretty good burn. Might give a slight edge to the one tricks. But anyway, let's get on into this game here. We have on the left Phoenix Rising Emerald. We're going to have Lothair on the Sylvanas, Lazy Hydra on the Thrall, Rain going to be playing the Tyrael, Ace on Vala, and Jimmy going to be playing the Rhaegar. Meanwhile, on the right for the one tricks, we've got Royal playing the Johanna, Key going to be on the Anduin, Siege on Li Ming, Kotip going to be playing the Greymane, and Rise Robin going to be playing the Artanis. I'm going to be very interested to see who can win the burn here. A lot of it's going to come down to build choices. So a lot of these DPS, they have solid builds for burn, but not necessarily inherently baked into their kits. And you see right away, the Hungering Arrow build started for Vala. It's kind of the token level 1 talent for that. We're going to see bold strategy coming out from Key.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, and a hint at that missile build also for Li Ming. So Siege could be going with that missile build. Though the level 1 talent doesn't necessarily mean that automatically. If you don't think you're going to have constant access to globes, that level 1 talent can be pretty strong for blocking magic damage. And right away, the clear coming in. Very nice orb coming in from the bottom to clear most of that wave. Now they're getting some damage on Rain, building up some of those spell shield stacks. Oof! And the orb comes in. Look out, Rain! Tyrael just not having a good day right now. Oof! Good start by the one tricks. Up top, we're going to have Artanis versus Thrall. This is exactly what we would expect to see out of these comps for the solo lane matchup. Rise Robin looking for that tricksy little swap. Not quite finding it. Expecting him to step forward there, it looked like. And both teams will just slowly resume their back and forth. Here comes... they're thinking about it. I'm thinking about going up to that camp. It's a little early. Maybe just a tad early. I can understand the idea of wanting to prep it early, but how long do you want to have to sit on it? You definitely don't want to capture it this early. You want it offset a little bit, at least, with the Immortal. Even if it's right as the Immortal is spawning, or right before, you force the enemy team to rotate to deal with it while you get on the Immortal. It gives you an advantage either way. You either get the side push or you get the advantage. But yeah, wave clear, not at all a problem for the one tricks. But everything gets cleared up pretty quick over on the side of Phoenix Rising Emerald as well. Getting closer to those level 4 talents, we do see the team starting to split off for those bruiser camps. Kotip can get a little help from Key down here. Neither team looking at the siege camps just yet. No kills yet either. Both teams being pretty passive. I think this is the time in the game when you kind of know that you don't really need to be too overly aggressive. You're not going to get, even out of a big win, even out of a big team fight win this early, you're not going to get a huge advantage. Definitely not one that can be overcome at this point. I think both teams just they're pretty smart to play passive. Meanwhile, that camp picked up a little bit earlier for Phoenix Rising Emerald, so you're going to see the one tricks being able to clear that out and get on the burn right away. But then again, both teams on the burn. That's going to be just a slight advantage for Phoenix Rising Emerald. Even without Thrall being there. Thrall's going to have some clearing to do here, so that's going to give the numbers advantage over to the side of the One Tricks. Thrall will get there and abandon ship. But yeah, just barely. But the One Tricks do win it. Very passive match so far. With these teams being careful. Oh, but look out, Lazy Hydra, just as I say that, there's the aggression. And the 4-man from the One Tricks, but Lazy Hydra are going to make it out. They'll swap back down to bot. Sylve going up top for the clear. Gonna be hurt a little bit by that late rotation, though. The Immortal going to get some nice damage out on this wall. Maybe not as much as Kotip, though. He's going ham on the wall. Well, it's going to go down. Get a little bit of damage to the fort. And they got to be careful not to overstay here. They are going to chase it a little bit. Vala trying to stack up that Q. This will be that's the first stack for that level 4 Hungering Arrow talent. Again, it's been a very passive game. Not a whole lot of team fighting going on. There's just not a whole lot of opportunities to stack it just yet. But we will get a team fight here over this top camp. Gets cleared out by the One Tricks, but now they're fighting over it. Greymane going in, gonna find himself falling, and the sustain seems to go over to Phoenix Rising Emerald for the moment, as they get the double kill and the first blood here on Battlefield of Eternity. And now they will have an opportunity to push a little bit with this. Vala gonna put down some pretty good siege damage, as will the Sylve, of course, being able to shut down these turrets, more valuable than ever in this game right now. Shutting down the towers. They can't attack your enemies, even if you're attacking the enemy team under them if they're shut down. So, meanwhile, down bottom, checking with our solo laners. Not a whole lot going on down here. Camps are not quite back up yet. Looks like both of these teams are going to be able to just position for the Immortals. Nobody going after that bottom camp in this break. And again, both teams just going to immediately collapse onto this Immortal. And who wins? The One Tricks edging it out once again. We'll have to see if Phoenix Rising Emerald wants to take the fight here at all. Well, they're not going to have the choice. They're going to go to opposite sides. The Immortals have had enough of this passive stuff. And there it is. That whoa, big orb damage, big missile damage, and Rhaegar finds himself a little bit out of place. And the swap comes in onto Tyrael. He's going to out-Druins out towards the top, trying to get away, and will do so. That's going to open the door for the One Tricks to come in and start to get some damage. Big root from Thrall, but that's not going to be enough to slow down the damage. And you see the burn come in for the One Tricks. When they've got an open lane to it, they definitely have enough burn to take that out with just a small window. And they will get the second Immortal of the game as both teams approach level 10 here. Teams will assume their 4-1 splits. Getting good soak on both sides. Pretty even on level here as both teams hit level 10 at almost exactly the same time. And the siege begins here as the One Tricks trying to push in. And we get, oh, the huge damage set up there by a huge condemn into the Blessed Shield, into just everything. Vala gets completely blown up. We're all going to come down to try to aid in the defense, but the fort should fall here for sure. And it looks like Royal trying to isolate out Lazy Hydra. But the rest of the team going to come up to try to support. Meanwhile, Artanis getting some good damage up here in the absence of Thrall. And the One Tricks deciding not to overstay their welcome. They fall back. Their 4-man grab this camp. Still pretty much dead even in terms of XP. 11 to 11, or level 11 for both sides. 2 to 2 on the kill count. Take a look at these heroics. We've got Wailing Arrow along with the Earthquake, Sanctification, Reign of Vengeance, and the Bloodlust coming out. The Phoenix Rising Emerald looking for the Lust combo. Meanwhile, on the other side for the One Tricks, we have the... what is that? That's Light Bomb. I knew it was some kind of bomb. We had a Wave of Force along with the Cursed Bullet, Blessed Shield, and the Suppression Pulse. Looking for those blinds. I think the Suppression Pulse might actually be one of the more influential heroics in that lineup right now for the side of the One Tricks. They, if they are able to get that right on top of the Bloodlust as they group up, that's going to really hinder a lot of what that Bloodlust can bring to the team fight. Especially for Vala. You know, Invasion on the way. It looks like it'll be a little bit too late, but they are looking for it. Now, Aldruin's just a little bit too late, but there's the Bloodlust. Sanctification on top of it. Suppression Pulse comes out, but most of them in the Bloodlust, so they will get the Artanis. And just like that, they'll be able to rotate away and start to try to knock down this top lane. Or this top immortal, I should say. That's going to be a nice bonus there for Phoenix Rising Emerald. And now, no Artanis available, as he'll just be spawning up top. And it does go to the opposite side, so yeah, the One Trick's going to have to go all the way across the map to even try to defend this. And again, no Artanis. So this is a 4v5. They can try to fight that under the Immortal, but they're going to have to be aggressive to stop the burn. Light Bomb comes in, and again, big damage with the swap onto Rhaegar. Big coordination coming out from the One Trick so far. We're going to send their best burner in Greymane back to try to even this out a little bit. But now it's a 4v5. Thrall trying to get in from the bot. Tyrael trying to come in from the top. But look out, the damage is big. Now the resets are coming in. And Li Ming pulls the double kill. As Vala and Thrall go down. And now Greymane will have the opportunity here to try to even this out before they can poke it down. Gonna be close. But the zoning is good. And it looks like the One Tricks are going to pull it out once again. Their One Trick this game is getting every Immortal. This one will be going down to the bot lane.
The demon moves for the gates of heaven.
Yeah, I agree, Chaotic. They are doing a nice job of coordinating. Ooh, the swap not quite finding the mark that time, though. And here comes the Bloodlust on the backside, but they do all get blinded and then stunned. Oh my goodness! The combos! It's good responsive heroic usage there from the One Tricks. They all have to group up for that Bloodlust, and as soon as they do, all of the heroics are just coming down, and they are going core here. They've got to watch out. This core pretty good at setting people up, but at the same time, it's only 2 people on the defense. Death timers are low, but it's going to be too little too late. That burn they had for the Immortals burns the core as well, and the One Tricks take a quick game 1 here in this best of 3 series on Battlefield of Eternity. Very well done by these guys. We'll go to our match summary. Get a look at these stats. Siege coming through big there with 32k on the hero damage, but also securing those 4 kills. Didn't need a whole lot of help with that missile build. The big turn being Seeker at level 7. But, you know, full missiles. Also not being afraid of any kind of dive potential either with that glass cannon. It'll lower that maximum health for the extra damage, but not a problem there. Very, very nicely done. My vote for MVP, but I'm also a Li Ming main, so call me a little biased. Yeah, very well done. We're going to take a quick break here between matches while we set up for our game number 2. So we will be right back in just a few moments. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. Draft is underway here, and we're staying in the Diablo universe as we go to Infernal Shrines. Phoenix Rising Emerald taking first pick. They're going to ban the Deathwing to get started here. Have to see if they continue to ban that Stukov. They do have first pick, so if it's a point of contention for drafting it, they can get it this time around. And the classic Zool ban will follow up here. A couple of the big name heroes that we see often on this map, of course. Well, pretty much anybody with good wave clear is good here, but Kael'thas is a hero that's thrown around a lot as an early ban priority. They will go towards that Stukov, though. Making sure Key is not going to play that today. Could also choose to ban. Well, there goes the Rainer once again. So, pretty much mirroring those bans from the first game. Any kind of big point control hero can be a point of banning here. We also have a couple heroes that are particularly good at burning the minions on these shrines. Though I don't expect we'll see a Kerrigan ban. But Sonya, pretty good hero in that right. Anyway, we'll see that Johanna started out. Johanna, not only a current top tier tank, but it's pretty much been a top tier tank for the last, long as I can remember, at least for NGS seasons, in terms of her pick rate and win rate. There is the Sonya, though. One Trick's going to go ahead and pull that out of the bag here. And immediately, you look at their comp, just starting with Kael'thas and Sonya, they have a ton of clear on those shrines. Wave clear in general also very good here. If you're able to get ahead on the rotational game in terms of clearing the waves, it can give you the advantage in getting onto those camps. Well, once again, we're going to see Greymane, but this time it's going to be on the side of Phoenix Rising Emerald. Alexstrasza, also a hero that we see pulled out for this map in particular quite often. The fact that she has that early Dragon Queen ability can give you an edge in the first shrine or two. Kind of like having a heroic ability before level 10. When you have those big objectives like here and like on Volskaya Foundry, where you have those control points, it can help. Meanwhile, the One Tricks having their mage will try to put a bit of a mage chokehold and take out Jaina. Another one of those really good clear heroes. Though hers is a little bit more burst, so it's not as useful, but it can help a bit. Tank chokehold put on for Phoenix Rising Emerald. That Garrosh ban out. Don't want to see any of their heroes get isolated out. Two more picks coming up for the One Tricks. They still need tank and healer. And they will go with those two picks as they get Ana and ETC. Nano boosted Kael'thas can be kind of scary. And the ETC has also been one of those tanks that's been just kind of slowly climbing the meta. Blaze and Gul'dan will finish it out here for Phoenix Rising Emerald. So they're going to have Blaze in that solo lane. again, you know, massive wave clear heroes, just all around this draft. Gul'dan, one of the best shrine clearers in the game as well. Though he's a little bit more vulnerable than the Sonya in those situations. You can get to that back line. And Lunara going to finish it out for the one tricks. So, again, you know, a lot of spread AoE damage. And just in general, lots and lots of wave clear and shrine clear for both sides. Team fighting wise, it seems pretty even. You know, a lot of poke damage, a lot of, you know, not a whole lot of bursts. You could put Greymane in that category. But otherwise, just a lot of spread damage on both sides. Decent controlling front lines. Should be a pretty interesting match. As we get on into it, on the left, we have Phoenix Rising Emerald. We're going to have Lothair playing Greymane, Lazy Hydra on the Blaze, Rain going to be playing Johanna, Ace on the Gul'dan, and Jimmy playing the Alexstrasza. On the right, we've got the One Tricks, Key going to be playing Ana, Royal on the ETC, Rise Robin on Sonya, Kotip going to be playing the Lunara, and Sheej going to be on the Kael'thas. The rotational game could be pretty interesting to watch too here. They both got pretty good wave clear, but the camp taking ability definitely goes over to the side of Phoenix Rising Emerald. Greymane just so good at taking those camps right out the gate. And also, Alexstrasza gives a little bit of damage to it. Not a whole lot, but especially against those stationary targets or flame buff, it can be pretty decent at adding, you know, a little bit of clear to it. Where Ana, she can do that with her poison, but it's a little bit slower, I think. Not quite as much overall damage to it.
The battle begins in
Unless she's really able to sit there uncontested with it, really build up those poison stacks.
3, 2,
Either way, let's get going here for this game number 2. Blaze going to take the root in from the top. Maybe look to flank a little bit. We'll see ETC sliding out a little bit early there, hits the panic button. And just like that, we're going to see 2 globes going over to Phoenix Rising Emerald. To the 0 for the One Tricks out of that first wave. Not too bad. And this time they will manage to each get one. A lot of globe stacking quests. Well, 3. For Gul'dan, it's just those corruption stacks. Both teams will eventually rotate away to their camps. The One Trick's a little bit quicker than Phoenix Rising Emerald on this one. Lazy Hydra stalling out the wave up here. Trying to get everything coming back to that side a little bit more. Meanwhile, Rise Robin getting started on the camp up top. And a little faster on the rotation to their camp. On the right, so they will, for the One Tricks, get started on this one. But look out, the rotation is coming, and Greymane jumps on it just fast enough. Yeah, and the One Tricks are going to bail out. I know they don't have the numbers with Lunara up top. That's a nice steal away for Phoenix Rising Emerald. But also, I gotta give credit to the One Tricks. That is the right call. You know you've got people in other lanes. You just can't sit on that point. And so they bailed out right away. Definitely the right call. Keeps it from making a bad decision worse. And I really like Royal there with the face melt. Keeping everybody off of that heal point. They're trying to get this cleared up. Are the One Tricks. But they've still got just 3 down here in this 3v4. But to be honest, you know, Phoenix Rising Emerald's not really getting a whole lot out of that 3v4. They're losing They're going to lose at least a one or two of the XP globes in mid, while one trick spread out a little bit more. Everybody will slowly rotate their way on up to the shrine. We have shrine number 1 being in the top lane, and this one will give an Arcane Punisher to whomever can first get those 40 skeletal minions. Right away we see both teams kind of fighting over. Big 3-man stun there by Lazy Hydra, but no real follow-up for it. See Sheej trying to stay near the bot here, having that nice positioning for trying to get some damage out. We'll throw out one of those living bombs, but look at the slide on the backside. Big follow-up stun there from Sheej, and Alex Straza goes down. Greymane will follow. Lazy Hydra is trying to stay deep in here, but that might be a mistake. The nice slide to interrupt the charge. And, yep, Lazy Hydra will fall as well, and with those staggered death timers, that's going to be impossible. May have already been impossible, but really seals the deal for this first shrine. They're going to leave Sonya on it to finish up while they clear up the lane. I love that call. Now this Arcane Punisher going to be pushing straight onto the fort. This is going to be baited over, unfortunately, by the Greymane, so he takes a little bit of extra damage. Meanwhile, the wall is down. Gul'dan going to make it back here in time to try to get some clear onto this. And One Tricks, having got the wall and the well, will rotate away. Might be looking at... yeah, they are looking at Blaze. Oh, the sleep comes down with the slide to follow and the stun. Look at this beautiful... beautiful coordination from the One Tricks. That is a great stun chain. They performed that one perfectly. And with Blaze down, now they will invade as 5 and take away their camp. It's a good invade. Johanna's got to be careful, but with the Iron Skin, I imagine she's just fine. But still, it gives the One Tricks the opportunity to kind of rule the map a little bit here. Blaze up top, and they are rotating as 4 with Sonya up top for clear. And now it's almost a level lead right now for the One Tricks. They get closer to that level 10. And get the bottom camp, and we'll push in with that a little bit now. Next Immortal Phase is going to be down, or not Immortal Phase, I should say. Next Shrine is going to be down here. And we will see the siege camp being picked up. And level 10s as well now. Want to give a quick thank you to Burrito 1775 for the follow, as well as Sheej. We'll see this mid camp cleared pretty well. Phoenix Rising Emerald does, of course, have quite the wave clear, as both of these comps do. Looking at level 10 talents coming in for the side of the One Tricks. We've got Nano Boost along with the Leaping Strike, Phoenix, the Mosh Pit, as well as Berserker Wrath. Wrath of the Berserker? There we go. I knew the words. Phoenix Rising Emerald, meanwhile, taking Cursed Bullet with the Bunker Drop, Blessed Shield, Horrify, and the Cleansing Flame.
The shrine will be ready soon.
No Life Binder today. And yeah, that Nano Boost probably going to the Kael'thas, I would imagine. It'll be interesting to see that running amok in team fights here. Rotation coming in. Rain maybe looking for a bit of a flank, but now it's going to be backing up after taking some of that damage. First bullet does chunk ETC pretty well, though. Phoenix comes out early. It's going to kind of cut off that rotation on the backside. Going to force the Phoenix Rising Emerald members to come in through this bottom. Funnel them in a little bit. But look out, Lunara gets hit. Does Leaping Strike out? Can they keep them up? Lothar chasing, but no. Lunara makes it out somehow. The bunker will be dropped. As 29 right now for the One Tricks. They are pretty far ahead, but they are going to regroup and tap, it looks like. And they're going to give a little bit of an advantage here. That Flame Strike does come up. Worth noting that top lane, the fort goes down, but Lazy Hydra getting very low. The Leaping Strikes will finish him off, along with that Kael'thas damage, but ETC falling in return. It's a 1-for-1, but look out, the minions definitely in favor of the One Tricks, and they are going to get the Punisher. Meanwhile, spinning and winning is Rise Robin, looking for another kill. Can't quite find it, but Alexstrasza goes down on the backside from that poison damage, as well as the Greymane. So that's a big double kill right as they get this push started. And we'll see the Punisher jumping onto Gul'dan on the backside. But the One Trick staying focused on getting the fort instead. Top fort goes down to that camp, which is still pushing. Lazy Hydra gonna have to respond to that. But meanwhile, big damage coming down on to this heap. And look out! The Unstoppable gonna have to be popped there with that Iron Skin from Rain just to get out. And again, I love this call. They're not gonna overstay. The One Tricks know they're probably not gonna be able to get that keep, even with people just now spawning and low health. They're going to just get started on the macro play. Instantly rotate away to this camp, steal that away, get some damage onto the mid fort, which 50-50 shot that's going to be where the next shrine is. So now they've gotten rid of the well there. And we'll see big heroic popped there for Jimmy. Long cooldown for that Cleansing Flame, but should be up for the next objective. Meanwhile, Rise Robin goes directly to the bot lane. Gonna get this camp. And actually, smart call to split up here. Gonna be able to get a pair of camps pushing. Meanwhile, Phoenix Rising Emerald taking their Bruiser camp. Level 13's now in for both squads, so a little bit of a window here where they're even, but the One Tricks will have the 16 advantage for this next objective. So Phoenix Rising Emerald may want to try to start something before then, but look out. It's actually the side of the One Tricks engaging on the Joe. All of that damage and CC paying off once again. And Royal kind of looking on from the backside here. It's going to come down. Get the slide onto Blaze. Gets the solo Mosh. It is going to be interrupted by the Horrify. Bunker goes down, and Lazy Hydra able to scoot out. But that is going to be Dragon Queen. Also popped here. Meanwhile, down bot lane, things starting to build up. So that is going to be Mosh Pit. Likely not available for this top shrine. Along with Dragon Queen. So both sides going to be missing a little something. And level 16 is now online for the One Tricks. And I just don't see a world where we're going to see level 16 in time for the beginning of this shrine for Phoenix Rising Emerald. Could be close. So there it is, that 30-second timer is ticking. Oh, but look out, it's the slide. It's the double stun from Kael'thas. The damage coming down. We do see Alexstrasza make it out by using, unfortunately, having to use that Cleansing Flame, but still on the pursuit is Royal. Bunker going to be dropped. And again, these are all kind of being used as disengage tools, but now the heroics aren't going to be there. Even if they do get level 16, you got 77 seconds until we've got the Alexstrasza heroic. 49 seconds on Bunker. Not as short a cooldown as it used to be. Meanwhile, level 16's still advantage here. Phoenix Rising Emerald looks like they may try to make something happen here. A lot of heroics down on both sides, but Mosh Pit just now coming off a cooldown. Royal gonna get the slide onto Blaze. Lazy Hydra trying to make it out though. Meanwhile, it's a 24 minion advantage right now, and Sonya's still getting the clear on it. So this Immortal's definitely going over the one tricks. Horrify comes down, and they do manage to get the ETC. That's a nice pick. Down to 16 talents here, but they may pay for it here. As here comes Bryce Robin getting on the backside. That's never good. Dragon Queen is going to come out, and they're going to try to make a turnaround. But the Punisher jumps in. Now John Cena getting involved, and that's gonna be a bad moment for Phoenix Rising Emerald right now. They are gonna get this keep for sure. Worth noting that the bottom lane's starting to stack up again with one of those catapults. Oh, and Blaze gets jumped up on the backside. The leaping strike preventing Lazy Hydra from getting too far away, but will be able to make it out. But now the question is, do they want to continue on this pursuit? The jump in on to the Joe. And they got to watch out. This core freezes people in place now. Lazy Hydra does come in with the stun. Sonya getting low, but so is Johanna. That poison damage is just brutal. Greymane being the first to fall, but the core is falling with this Punisher on top of it. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 and the series going over to the one tricks. Solid coordination, good team fight calling, and great macro play in that game number 2. Being rewarded with all of the fundamental plays going the right way. And they will take Game 2 and the series here in Week 1 of NGS. See if I can reach out and get a quick interview. Team Captain Key. Give him a quick call here.
Hello.
Hello. I'm joined by Team Captain for the One Tricks Key. Great job, man. You guys were looking pretty solid out there. Good coordinated team fighting. Good macro calls. You guys were just kind of on fire tonight.
Yeah, it's good to get the first one out of the way. It's good to have a fifth at least a month earlier, so that we kind of got a lot of practice in. So we feel pretty good.
Yeah. So let's quickly going back to Game 1. You guys, of course, both teams kind of had a good burn comp, but you guys were finding some pretty tremendous team fighting coordination post level 10. Some of those combos that you guys hit were just straight up nasty.
Yeah. I think everyone just calling. I like when everyone is pretty active in comp, so everyone is kind of looking out for targets or engage follow up. So we were just constantly talking. So whenever someone goes in, especially our tank Royal, so we just look to follow up. So we got a few pretty good engages, and that's what got us kind of the lead in Game 1.
Yeah, and then Game 2, you guys were just kind of in control from that very first Immortal win. You guys, quick rotations. One thing I really respected was your guys' decision to retreat in that bottom lane early when you guys were on the camp. You guys were kind of spread out a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your guys' shot calling and how you guys choose to communicate in terms of what roles you guys do.
I'm the primary shot caller, but like I tend to be quiet in time, so like everyone just chips in, and I like when the comm is more like active instead of waiting for one person to kind of instruct anything. Whenever I don't speak up, like someone else usually just jump in. So for example, the bottom cam there, we know we didn't have Lunara, so we just chose to just let them have the cam. It's just a cam, like we can just clear it. That's something that I think, like, it's a small thing that you should give up something sometimes. Like you don't have to go for everything, which is something that you learn over time. Because if you give them like a few kills there, like they would just have a level and a half lead, so that's not worth it. So.
All right, so we're still early in the season, still week 1, got a long ways to go. But how are you guys feeling in terms of your relationship to other teams? How do you guys feel like you're going to do this season, just from an early look?
Looking at the division, it's pretty close. I think it's a really close, like from top to bottom. Actually, I would say we are in the top half at least. But like I feel like personally, there are a few teams that definitely will give us like a really close games. So we just take it one game at a time, and we should try to do our best and see where it takes.
All right, well, congratulations on the win. But before we let you go, are there any shout-outs you'd like to make?
Shout out to my team. They always come through. Shout out to Kiarik, our coach. He always here to help us on questions, review, VOD, watching. Shout out to our sub Archer. He always kind of fill in whenever we need someone. So shout out to you, late picking up this game to cast. So yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me for a quick interview. I'll let you get back to your team, and congrats on the win.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. I've got a match coming up here pretty soon myself, so I'm going to jump in and see if I can't get some warm-up games going with my squad. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. Oops. I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I also want to give a quick shout-out to the NGS Patreon. Check it out. They've got some cool rewards over there for the NGS Patreon. Support this awesome amateur league. I want to thank both the teams for coming out, putting on a good show, and all of you for coming out and watching it, whether now or later on the VOD on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube for more NGS action, and don't forget to follow right here on Twitch. Until next time, thanks for joining me. I am Jason. This is NGS, and we'll see you guys next time.